welcome to Mitch and Mike's voiceover journey. I'm Mike, that's Mitch. And with us today, we've got Ariane Marchese.
He
Did I
did
say
it.
that right?
He
Yeah,
did
you
it
did.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice. I almost froze because you had sent us the pronunciation, and I read that like 3 hours ago. And then I'm looking at your name, I'm like, yeah, that's what it is.
He got it.
And I got it. So welcome, Ariane. Good
Yeah,
to
thank
have
you.
you on the show.
Yeah, nice to be here. Thanks, Mike and Mitch.
Yeah, appreciate you coming on. Now, Mitch knows Ariane from GVAA. He's done a couple of workouts with her. This is my first time meeting Ariane, so I am very much looking forward to hearing your story and just chatting with you and getting to know you.
Yeah, it's pretty wild watching you go from. I saw you do children characters.
Mm-hmm.
It's really. I was telling my wife this. I watch you turn into a child, and then I hear you take direction like a grown-up. It's almost like being in two different worlds, more so than I've seen in a lot of actors. So kudos to you for that. It's a really wild experience.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. But
yeah, so Mitch says she got some good chops, and so can't wait to dig into that. I did listen to you when he told me who was going to be on. I went and checked out your website, listened to some of your stuff, and yeah, you do children well. You've got that, must be nice to have a high pitched voice. I don't know about that,
yeah,
so
you just sound
can't
like
quite
Patrick
do
Warburton
children.
all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, drop in the Patrick Warburton here and there. But so Ariane, why don't you first tell us a little about who you are and just kind of what got you into voiceover. I know you do other things as well, right? You do some on camera stuff, or you
Really,
have?
a lot. I would like to one day. I'm not opposed to the idea, but my main and work has mainly been voiceover.
Okay. And how'd you get your start? What was the inspiration for you? You know what? That sounds really cool. I'm gonna look into that.
I think definitely fandom culture. I remember when I was in middle school, I would listen to a lot of like convention stories and covers and see a lot of like the indie like fan projects or just like indie animation. That's always been such an inspiration. I was mainly inspired to pursue vocal performance because I would listen to Christina V. Valenzuela's like covers and work at a time. I would always watch her YouTube channel
Okay.
to see if she would drop a new cover or song or a showcase of her voice acting. And I was like, oh, cool. I think I want to do that. So that's when I started to get my feet wet. And it all kind of slid into professional voiceover from there.
So you
Okay.
you jumped in pretty quick. What does that look like?
I wouldn't say pretty quick. I would say I started like playing around, just kind of when you're a kid, you like draw whatever you want and then maybe you decide to go to art college and be an artist, right? It's along the same veins. I let myself experiment and play with voices, maybe for the first 5 years, and then I came across my first paid video game audition. I was like, oh, cool, let me give it a shot. Oh, cool, I booked it. Oh, cool, I guess you can make money from this. So yeah, maybe like 5 years of hobby and training work, and then jumping into the
All
business
right.
aspect. Yeah.
So it started out as just you listening to your passions, your fun. And forgive me, I can't tell about. You don't have to give me an exact age, but like where do you range?
What's your age range? Is that what you're
You could
asking?
be 18, you could be 36. I don't know. I can't really tell.
I am the young adult range, which is
Young
like, what is
adult
it,
range.
20 to 35? What's that on voices.com?
Oh,
Okay.
So this time in middle school, where this wasn't like tremendously long ago. This was um 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah. So you're watching these things. You're in this culture. And kudos to you because like I grew up I'm kind of old. I grew up in the 1980s, and there was some fun, but it was kind of like not cool to be a nerd. And so I didn't really embrace that until I became an adult. You kind of grew up in the age where it was like, yeah, do what you want, nobody cares. And so, to be able to really just go face first into anime and the indie projects and things that you were talking about is cool. So you gained a passion for that, and you started to play with voices just around the house as you're watching things, and as you're looking things, you're making up voices.
Yeah, pretty much. I remember watching anime and then I would play it on mute and go back and then try to dub over the voices myself.
Oh, wow.
Nice. So
Yeah.
you kind of self-taught yourself to dub. Love that.
Yeah, that's a
And
tough
then
job.
and then you say it was like 5 years of playing around. Did you buy equipment? Or when you did that first video game audition, did you have anything, or did you just plug a USB mic or something into your computer and go?
No, yeah, I think like a lot of voice actors, it was like a slow progression. Playing out, this is before like iPhones were like regularly, or smartphones in general, regularly in everyone's hands, right? I used like a camcorder I got for my birthday as my microphone, and then in like movie editors, you can move like layer one video track on the other, and I would be like, oh, okay, that's like kind of like my audio track. Um, and then I realized that the Wii USB mic has a USB port, and my computer has a USB port. So, Monkey puts two things together. Oh, cool, USB mic. What an upgrade. Um, and then from there, it was like saving up birthday money, Christmas money, work money, and then buying my first condenser mic.
That's
So there was some like research there. Once you started auditioning, you're like, okay, now I got to figure out how to do this correctly, or do this better.
Yeah,
And there was that
kinda.
progression.
Um, I was very influenced by other like female vocal artists. I low key just kind of looked at, so like I kind of sound like this person, and this person uses this mic, so I'm just gonna yoink that.
that's also smart. Okay,
Yeah.
you maybe there's not a right way, but between you and I think you did it the right way. I just bought all the crap, and I didn't even know what I was doing. I didn't compare myself or figure out what mic I should. I'm like, oh, this one's a good mid-range, but you kind of like worked your way up. And then at some point you were 1-to-1 audition and got paid for audition, like got a paid gig.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was like my first paid
Yeah.
audition per se, because I think I slowly started seeing paid auditions like more that time, but it always felt so far ahead because I think the caliber you have to be at to deliver a competitive audition and book a paid audition pretty regularly, or like in your first chance, is pretty low. So I don't remember the paid auditions I did beforehand. I just remember the one I booked.
Okay. That
And
makes sense.
were you just searching for these? Were you going to like casting call club or backstage or anything like that? Where were these auditions coming from at first?
Social media. I remember this one in particular came from Tumblr before, um, before people stopped using Tumblr.
Mm.
Yeah, I can't even remember
I
when
didn't even
people
know
use
you could use
Tumblr.
Tumblr for that.
Yeah, what is that for? I don't.
I thought Tumblr was a dating app.
Boy, no.
I don't know.
That's funny. So you now are professional, right? You get paid for your first gig. Where does that take you from there? Like a snowball effect, or you're like, okay, now I can do this? What does that do for you?
It makes me think like, oh, can I get another? Like, what if I got like my first one, or what if I can get two and three, and right, and it's just slowly build on that. I don't think I became business minded until the pandemic hit, and then so remote recording was very talked about, and as well as like how do you start like an online business, right? That I feel like everyone was started some sort of online business or online hobby, right?
Yeah.
So that's when like the business started to kick in, really.
Okay. And this is you actually building your website and making demos, and at some point I'm guessing you started training not just with yourself or watching. Like when did that start building as well?
Yeah, so pandemic, I took my first voice acting like course with a consistent teacher. It was like a 4-week boot camp kind of thing, and then I really liked it. And I did another, and then it's workshops here and there. And then I think my most worthwhile investment was with an accelerator program called Pandora's Box by Joe Zija. If you've heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're pretty much like thrown into a Discord server and you get like I think I got 2 to 3 workshops every week and just like one-on-one feedback for auditions that I was submitting. So just having that like instant feedback and those exposure and workshops was very helpful. And then from there I think I transitioned to other things and other workshops and more coaches and more private stuff.
And this is all
Good,
animation,
diversifying.
correct? Or were you doing
Sorry?
were you doing only animation and character at this point, or?
No, 'cause the goal was like character stuff. I think that's like the North Star for me. But I think I was realizing that maybe I should also consider commercials and audiobooks and narrations and things like that. So I've always been not always. So then maybe 2024, 2023, I started dipping my toes into the commercials and all that stuff.
Do you like it as much? I mean, obviously, you said character's your North Star, but is it
Same.
still fun? Yeah, of course. What a
No, yeah.
blast! Yeah. What do you enjoy about the other things, or are they kind of a slog? For me, I'm gonna be honest. E-learning can be a little rough. When I get it, I start getting in the groove, starts feeling real good. But at first, it's like this is a daunting deal for sure.
Medical narration.
Yeah. Gah. Yeah. How do you feel about the rest of the stuff now that you're in it?
I definitely find it pretty cool. I feel like I'm helping people, right? When I do these narration projects. I mean, sure, like you can argue like character work can like be helpful in their own ways, but I think that's more so for entertainment. But when narration is like an accessibility thing, right? That's something I feel strongly about.
Interesting. I still don't I still don't quite feel that like I'm so happy that people can feel that way. I'm trying to think of who was our first female guest, Mike. Do you remember?
Our first female guest
Yes.
was probably
We had a parade or something. I think we set off fireworks.
Was it Carol? Was it
No. Anyway, I'm going to skip who it was because I just can't
it was
remember.
somebody
But
of
she
the female
mentioned
persuasion.
the feeling of it, the being able to, and for me, this is all for me. I'm acting for me. I like it. I want to do it. Me, 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 me. That's interesting to be able to flip it and look at it as, oh, I'm bringing this to somebody else, which is probably why you do so well. And I still struggle from time to time.
Now, on that same note, right? You've been doing character work, and then 2-3 years ago, you're like, you know what? I need to diversify, and there's money to be had elsewhere, and there's jobs to be had elsewhere.
Yeah.
And so you started looking at narration and commercial and stuff. For me, it's always when I do character stuff, it's me playing around. I have a much harder time being myself in the booth and doing like a commercial read where where it's not so much acting. It's still acting, but not to the extent that audio drama and animation and anime and all of that is. So how did you deal with that when you started doing more of those and didn't put on the little girl voice or didn't put on the crazy character voice?
Admittedly, there's still sometimes a struggle with commercials. I think also because my voice tends to be in like the higher-ish range, right? Sometimes I feel like I'm still in that journey of like figuring out where do I place it, and things like that. But I still find enjoyment in it. At first, there's always like the intimidation, like, oh my gosh, I can't like put up the front that I'm like a little girl in this. Actually, I did a commercial where I was a little kid. That was awesome.
Go. All right. I stand corrected. You can get jobs like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But then, I think a lot of coaches say, pretend you're talking to a friend. And then I start from there, and I'm like, oh, I like talking to my friend. Oh, wait, this is fun. I like having a conversation with people.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. See, again, just opening up the emotions of it. It's like, there you go, Mike. Like, you like talking to your friends, don't you?
I do. I like talking to my friends.
Then talk
But then I
just
get in
like
the booth
that.
and I'm
when
talking to myself, and it's very awkward. So,
Okay, so you're building. You built the website. You start building your training background. Now you're well diversified. Are we landing agents at this point? Are we like going to conventions? Like, where do you start going from there?
I think that's where I am right now.
Okay. Perfect.
Actually, my last demo was the character demo that I made in 2019 with some really talented folks, but it was from 2019 still, before a lot of training happened, before a lot of like personal realizations and business moves. So now I'm building my demos, and I will be hoping to submit to agents within the year.
Oh, okay.
well, that's good. I mean, you're again. I mean, the path you're taking is a lot different than the path that Mitch and I took. Mitch fumbled around and bought all the stuff and like dove in. I did. I hooked on with a coach and kind of went through a package and a process and got to where, okay, I'm ready for demos, made demos. I hadn't auditioned, I hadn't done anything. I got demos made, I got a website set up, and then I hung out the shingle and started going live. Um, Whereas you've done a lot of stuff, you maybe did some simpler demos before, and now you're like, so you can do those demos and start submitting to agents, um, and actually have a body of work and have like, okay, here's my new demos, and also here's some stuff that I've done. See, that's something I didn't have when I was submitting to agents at first. It's like, hey, this is just me, and here's my references that say I'm pretty daggone good. Please sign me. But I had a couple of them come back and say, yeah, come back to us when you've actually booked something. Um, so that's this year. I'm heading back out, and at some point I'm going to be soliciting those agents again. But so that's interesting. So what do you have a game plan for that? Are you getting coaching on that particular aspect of reaching out to agents, or are you kind of formulating that plan yourself?
No, yeah. I am working closely with some coaches that I love and hold dear.
Don't feel shit. Go ahead and drop names
Yeah,
if you
please,
want.
No,
name
yeah.
drop.
We've talked to a lot of coaches
Of
and talked
course.
about a lot of coaches, so we
Yeah,
like
so
to
I'm
give them
working.
credit where credit's due.
No, yeah. I'm working with Christina Malaysia. I'm working with Courtney Lynn. Or is Christina going by Medina now?
I
Christina
believe.
Malaysia,
Yes.
Medina. Yeah. My bad. David
It's okay.
Rosenthal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the GVA crew for sure. The
GVA
powerhouse
crew.
of
Yeah.
GVA.
Well, yeah,
That's
and David did my demos.
Mine too.
That's
yeah. David's awesome.
and yeah, super awesome. We love David. We love Christina. We love Courtney, Jennifer Sun Bell.
Yeah.
Keep going, Mike. Name them all.
Sean Daly. I mean, the whole crew over there. Just love them. So
Well, now that you're at this moment, it seems like you've already broken out, to be honest. You're too good not to be just booking all these different things already, but is there anything you can look back and maybe tell some of the listeners, like, ooh, don't do this, or hey, I did this and that was a good little, like, swoop? A swoop.
A swoop.
name the swoops.
Love that.
Everybody wants the swoops.
I've been low-key digesting you guys telling me that I did it the right way, and I would say that I've had so many like regrets and points of embarrassments leading me up to this point, because I started, pretty young, so I had a lot of like opportunity to mess up or like make myself look silly online, or uh, maybe I sent that audition to someone and then they heard like a 14-year-old, right? And maybe that wasn't like up to par. I wasn't submitting to agencies or any like profession. It was mainly on the indie level, but it was messy. And maybe it wasn't always the best look, but it allowed me to make the mistakes in my early stage. So like, as like a toddler, they they do all sorts of things and they're learning like what's right and what's wrong. I think that's the stage, or that's a lot of like the early stages of learning to get to the point I'm at right now. And I also think that like there's like no harm in shooting your shot. So even though I had like that old 2019 demo, I still was able to submit that to rosters and let like casting directors be the judge to decide whether or not like they're gonna send me their audition sides, right? And even if like maybe I went a little bit past my demo in terms of skill level, like I was still sent the sides because it maybe was still a representation of the some of my range. And I was able to blow away people with an audition instead. I feel like I'm getting off track, but the bottom line I feel like I'm trying to get at is that it can look messy and it can look like full of like mistakes and regrets and embarrassments, but I think letting yourself be open to like making those mistakes is not like something to be afraid of. I mean, coaching and a guide and a mentor is always helpful, especially if you have a nice circle of friends to give you advice on things, but I feel like also like trusting yourself and even like letting yourself down at points is totally okay too.
And that's a great message. And that's honestly, I'm glad you said that because, yeah, so many people, and we all get that, right? Where we're not booking, or we're not, things aren't working, or we submitted an audition, we realize afterwards that man, that really was not up to par, and we beat ourselves up for it. But to get to that point where you understand that, okay, it's okay to make some mistakes sometimes. It's okay to not be perfect. And especially for you to look back and see, maybe you didn't see or know those imperfections, or the extent at that given time. But now that you're seasoned, you can look back and go, oh boy, but
Oh
you can
boy.
look back on it with, yeah, oh boy. You can look back on it with, okay, I learned from that, and I've come so far, and that's cool. That you kind of took that trajectory. There's a lot of us that are like, I'm gonna do voice acting, and we jump in and we do all the things, and we buy, like Mitch was saying, we buy all the stuff. And I know that that's where Mitch was, where he jumped in feet first, and then things didn't happen right away, and he wondered what was wrong. I know there's a lot of people out there that do that. So to hear you say, yeah, I made mistakes, and yeah, some things didn't go the way they should have, or the way I thought they should have, but you learn from it. That's a big thing. So kudos to you, and thanks for bringing that to that discussion to the audience. So.
No, yeah. And I feel like I should also mention that I've also done some casting work for some indie projects. And I feel like even as like a casting director, if I hear something that's like, oh, that's pretty off, like I'll just put that in the archive like pile, or like, and I won't think about this person again. Like I don't like hold it against you. There's no like blacklist for like emailing
Yeah.
a subject wrong,
Yeah. Yeah, and some people think that. They're like, "Ooh, if I start submitting too soon, if I talk to somebody, no one's going to remember that one person who wasn't ready. When you're ready, they're going to hear you and go, "Oh, crap." Unless you make someone mad.
Yeah, that's when they're going to remember you, is when you're not directable, or when you're not good in the, when you uh, actually submit work and it doesn't work, and you refuse to correct it or whatever. That's when they're like, yeah, let's put this people, they're on the the store wall that says "Do not serve," the picture,
Polaroids taped
with the
to
red circle and the cross through it. But yeah, if you're good to work with, which I can't, I've talked to you for all of a half an hour, and you're so pleasant and so lovely, and I can't imagine you being a jerk, in a directed session.
She's always
or something like
talking
that. So,
shit at GVAA, just like,
she?
"What are you guys
Is she?
doing out here? I'm too good." Yeah,
yeah,
it's
that's
really
probably why you like her, because
Yeah.
you two were
yeah. She's
talking
just
crap about people.
That's right. Yeah, we're just commiserating. No. So I noticed you said a little something. You said later you started to look into the business side. Later. So it sounded like a while where you were working on the performance side. Are you like me and kind of wish that maybe you looked into that a little earlier? And if so, how early do you think would have been better?
Yeah, I think I'm always, as voice actors, right? We're also like our accountants, our marketers, our like we're everything, right? But I think we do it because we want to be performers, right? So from the performer aspect, I think looking at it as a business could have been helpful because I think viewing it as a business helps separate yourself from it, or like to brand yourself better and to also learn a lot of the things that happen, like the rejections. It's just not personal, you know? And also, if I guess just on the business side, like looking into the business side first earlier, um, makes you easy to market. Could I think there's a lot of success to be had because you know how to like, or you start thinking about how can I help other people rather than um, how do I book all the roles, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So, what are some of the specifics there about some of the things you've learned about the business side of things?
Um, Marketing, or
Direct marketing, or are you more of an online presence?
all the marketing. Uh, I used to have a pretty, cause back when, bleh, back to when I was talking about like taking my performances personally, right? I think I treated a lot of like how I branded myself as like, oh, I'm relatable and I'm like, you know, the teenage gal that like you can say hi to, right? When instead I feel like the business I want to grow is something maybe more adult now, right? Where I want to like work with adults, I want to converse with adults, I want to, well, I mean, adults that are a child's at heart, right?
Right.
So there's always like
Absolutely. Yeah.
this
Right.
like fine line to toe there. So the general answer is both.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, did you like your website? I looked at your website when we knew we booked you and got to know you a little bit there and listened to some of your stuff. And if you haven't by now, as you're listening to this, people,
We will
if
have
you
a
haven't
link.
gone out to it's correct me if I'm wrong, and we'll tag it when we promote this. But I think it's what Ariane M.
Yeah.
It's just simply arianem.com.
Yes. Don't you don't have to worry about the last name.
Right. So it's arianem.com.
I just
And
see.
I went and looked and I listened to some of your stuff and so that website it looked pretty good. It looked did you is that something that you did that yourself or did you go to someone and say make me a website?
No, yeah, right now it's done by myself. It's definitely branded to more so what I wanted to go with. It was definitely a little bit more childish before, so that's why I'm talking about like, oh, okay, like
So it's gonna morph sometime soon
yeah,
here.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm just so jealous sometimes of these young minds, you know? It, you're just such a go-getter. And of course you have to be in a sense, but like you did all the training yourself at first, and then you find all this stuff all by yourself before all this other training. You build your own website, you find the thing and you plug it in the other thing like, "Oh, this is good enough." What the heck? Okay? Can you leave
Don't
some
be
for the rest
jealous,
of us?
Mitch.
I'm jealous. It's
Don't be jealous
okay, fine.
of our guests.
I've always been a project girly. I loved like throwing myself into even like outside of voiceover. Like I got into cosplay and like building props. I'm a very DIY kind of
Golly,
gal.
you're my kind of nerd.
Yeah.
Okay, so who's what's a show right now that you might be building a cosplay?
Well, I'm a little bit graduated from my cosplay
Okay.
phase,
Oh.
but I guess other creative ventures I've done are like art projects along with like my middle school voice acting playtime. I would also try to like make little animations and things like that. And as I said before, I wanted to get into singing and voice acting, so then I built a music YouTube channel of like singing covers of just indie songs or indie Japanese songs and not translating them, localizing them into English so I could sing them for like a English speaking audience. So I've always been like drawn to just creative projects and just things that I could like invest my like focus and attention in performance little ick gene my performance what is it quirk into.
Okay. Yeah. You gotta have something.
So you said so. Let's touch on that a little bit. You're a very unique individual. You are Cuban Japanese.
I'm Cuban Chinese.
Cuban Chinese. Okay.
Yeah.
Michael.
No.
Yeah. And well, sorry, I missed. Oh, yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's a very unique, blend of ethnicities, and so, and I know, I mean, like from a couple of things I watched of you, you do kind of the, um, you know, the Asian youth, kind of voice, very well. How and you just mentioned that you like to do, like Japanese covers and things like that. So how has that unique ethnicity helped or played into the types of projects you've done or that you've searched for or that have found you even?
When there was a bigger push for representation that I've seen at least in 2020, I realized, oh, people like want to hear Latino voices and Asian voices and, beyond me, like Black voices, Indigenous voices, et cetera, et cetera. So then I started to find a place for that in the industry. But also outside of it, I feel like growing up is also hard to um it was hard for us to see like ourselves in some of the media we saw, right? So it's always kind of nice being part of that change now. And definitely that push. I'll say this from Christina. Christina said like you're like, a gold mine. You have like you're a mix, so you can use those to your advantage. She said that a year ago, and then I was sitting on it and I'm like, well, I know it from like maybe a vague standpoint, but I think there's more to uncover here, right? If Christina's saying that. So, honestly, that push has also encouraged me to explore those sides of me more and my family history and looking at media and also kind of like finding my family in it too and bringing that into my performances. So it's been an awesome personal journey and I'm also really excited sometimes when I get to share that with the client. The other month I booked a Cuban role. She was specifically said to be Cuban. I'm like, oh hey, like I'm Cuban and I could do like the accent that like my grandmother has, right?
Nice.
Um and she was a scientist and then so I brought that kind of aspect to it because I actually went to school for physics. And then there was just this very vulnerable moment that this scientist was having with like their like live alien test subject, right? And it just like struck a chord with me and it reminded me of my grandma and then I started like I started singing because that's my grandma does. She's like sings sporadically in moments, and the clients loved it. Um, I'm just really excited to sort of bring that part
Yep.
into it. Yeah,
That's so cool. Not only have you been learning about them, but then you sort of, I don't know how to, you bring them forth.
yeah.
Can you tell us what you sang, by the way? What did you sing? How do you sing into an emotional moment? That does not come to me.
So in this specific scene, the specimen reached its 1 year anniversary of being in the laboratory, right? And so it's this kind of sad moment because the specimen is like, captive here and hostage and things, or captive, right? So I think over time the scientist does like feel some like guilt and for keeping it so long, but in that moment she was like trying to spin it to something positive, like, oh, it's been 1 year, so it's, technically your birthday, right? And then I started singing Happy Birthday because that's what my grandma would do.
Thankfully, no longer copyrighted. So
Ah,
Yeah, thank goodness.
it's what not free range. That's what chickens are. It's what
Wait, who
whatever.
copied?
yeah.
It was in the early 1900s. Okay, fun fact, right?
Please.
That's why up until like 10 years ago, you never heard Happy Birthday sung in any TV show, any movie, anything, because it was copyrighted.
I didn't know it was so
held the
recent.
copyright for
Yeah.
it. And so you would have had to pay royalties to that person or that person's family.
What a smart
100 years
person.
rolled by and that copyright expired. So now you can hear Happy Birthday and sing Happy Birthday all you want because it's not owned by anybody.
I'm buying
There you
that
go.
back up. I don't know. Maybe we all should. I want the rights. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
right? Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay.
So touch on the singing a little bit more. I mean, we've talked about kind of how
Yeah.
you did the things and like the animation and everything, and that kind of propelled you into wanting to do voice acting and getting into it and stuff. But the singing aspect of it, which obviously helps in voice acting if you can sing, which I cannot, so it's not going to help me one iota. But for you, I mean, how did you cultivate that? I mean, is it just something where your family is musical and you were singing around the house all the time, and you just now you're more, or have you had some professional training where you've done outside of voice acting some singing? I mean, I know you said you posted some things on YouTube, but what is your? That's a long way to say. What is your singing background?
Yeah, what are we doing?
Ariane?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I started, or where I started the YouTube, I had like practically none. Like at most, I had like an elementary school chorus experience, but it was kind of, is it traumatizing the right word? I remember it was probably like the second time I did the singing audition because we were having like the elementary school play, and I was singing, giving my shot at the song, and then I was singing. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know the notes, I don't know these lyrics, right? Because the teacher literally like played the song and then told us to like give it a shot the next like moment. Like I don't know, I could not learn that fast. And then I heard a girl from behind me go, "Oh my gosh, she's so bad." And I
Wow.
thought I would never like try to sing again. Because I remember going to my mom and going, "Mom, do I, uh, how do I get good at singing?" And then she goes like, "Well, some people are just naturally talented." And I'm like, "Oh, like is Miley Cyrus naturally talented?" And she's like, "Probably." And I'm like, "Okay, so maybe like singing's not for me."
Okay.
And then I learned that the other way, that like, oh, like it's like it's a skill like any other thing, that it's except your body is the instrument. So it's really a lot of like body awareness and building like that muscle. So um my desire to sing Japanese or like anime like fandom indie songs was much stronger than that like moment of embarrassment. So I
That's
continued
called
to pursue it.
overcoming.
Yeah. And it was, and actually the fun part about singing in your room with a microphone in like a DAW is that you could just like undo and you could delete and you could do as many takes as you want and just like Frankenstein all the good takes together, right? So that's pretty much what I did. I mean, was the end result always perfect and on pitch? No, but it was something that I
Perfection's
felt a little bit
overrated.
more comfortable putting out. And then as I would put them out, right, I would connect with other people, and then I would like get in calls with them and learn about how they like would sing, and just like get feedback. And YouTube has a comment section, so sometimes people give you feedback. Some of it's good feedback, some of it's not, but some of it makes you think regardless. So,
Do you have
yeah.
mostly supportive people in your life, or have you just learned to overcome some of those? I get enough bad feedbacks, I might just quit voice acting. You know what I'm saying? I might
Yeah.
just leave because I'm so sensitive about that sort of thing. Do you just have thick skin, or do you have so many people supporting you?
No, I don't have thick skin at all. I actually like struggle with people pleasing and perfectionism, and like I'm such a pacifist in some moments, right? Um and I've realized maybe the last 2 years that I'm also very reassurance seeking. So then I'm always not growing up. I would go like, I would ask my mom things, and then she would have her own opinion. I'm not picking on my mom. My mom's supporting me in her own way, right? But like it's just different perspectives and they clash. And then I know what I want and I know what I need and I know what I have. And I sometimes realize that like trusting my gut about if I can do this and shall I do this is sometimes the biggest indicator. So just learning to trust my gut on that was probably the biggest thing. But also to go back, I eventually did take singing classes. I didn't just like purely learn from like YouTube communities and things like that. That just clarifying.
Some people are that natural, but yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, if it's a passion that you have, just like voice acting, to cultivate that, it's good to get professional help. So yeah, Mitch needs to get professional help for his psyche. Because apparently he beats himself up over every little comment that anybody makes.
Well, so far, not too
We
bad.
love you, Mitch.
Not too bad. I haven't got, not a lot of haters out there. Maybe that's why I picked this profession and not like rough carpenter, where there's just a lot of mean people out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on a cement crew or something where I would just be made fun of for being so cute or something.
That part's not smooth, Lashins.
Yeah.
Do it over.
What the fuck are you doing? Yeah, that's exactly right. I can't handle that. So we kind of brushed over the physics. I know we're getting kind of near the end, but so it sounds like you weren't always going to be an artist for your career. How did that shift?
Yeah, so in high school, I was really good at math. And then junior year, I was really good at physics and was a bomb at pre-calc, or just did not do well in pre-calc. So then I just like said, "Oh, I'm good at physics." Also, my dad is a physics professor, so then I was like, "Okay,
That
like,
helps.
yeah, physics is
genes.
comfy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep going to physics." And I also got like good reassurance from it because my dad was like a physics teacher, right? So he knew the career to go with it and the path to do it, and also like was able to help me with some of like the concepts. So then going to college, right? I was like, I'm a physics major. Like that's just such a given, right? And I could do like acting on the side or for fun. But like in the end, like that's probably was gonna make money because that's the career that I know how to get to.
So is that
And then
really where you're going to be you are a physics major now?
technically I'm a mechanical engineering major right now.
Okay.
So I thought 2019 or more so, I got into grad school and I got into grad school for mechanical engineering for like 2D material physics. And so I'm finishing my last year in grad school right now. The original plan was to become a professor, right? But I've learned through my years here that, academia is like this whole ballgame that I didn't expect it to be. But I'm in such like a transition period in my life. I'm just going to see like where things go, but I definitely am holding voice acting and just my creative pursuits in a higher priority than they were before.
Well, that's good. So what is the ultimate goal then? To be the coolest voice acting physicist that the world has ever seen. I mean, I'm assuming you want to put your degree to work, but you do. You just said you still want to do the voice acting thing. Are you looking to kind of have a joint career? What would you like to happen once you graduate?
I think the embarrassing and the beautiful thing is I have no idea. Like at this point, I'm applying to everything and anything. Um, like I love teaching. I would love to do teaching or consulting. That's cool. I also believe in accessibility in the sciences as well. So I've always admired like the outreach work in STEM. So I guess that's where I can go in terms of science. But I still want to keep like the voice acting part really, really big in my life, And I have a friend actually that she's also very talented. She's in Dallas, Texas. She's
Ayo.
doing anime. Yeah, she's her Nicolette Kong.
Okay.
Um, she is living her dream of having her science career coincide well with her voice acting career. So, um, she figured it out, so I can do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. If you
I'm
want it
doing
all,
the two
take it.
careers thing myself, so it's it.
Sorry?
I said I'm doing the two careers thing myself. I got into this
Really?
as an old man, and so I wasn't about to quit my day job, that pays for the mortgage and gives me insurance and got retirement and all that. So, yeah, it can be done. I know a lot of people that are doing, um, have the full blown career and the voice on the side and are very very successful at it. There's a guy I met at One Voice named Jeff Williams that is a chiropractor. He has a chiropractic practice in Amarillo, Texas, and it is a thriving practice. And he does a lot of voice work as well on the side. So, so he makes it work. Mike Cunningham makes it work. A lot of people make this two career thing work and do well in voiceover. So, good luck to you there. And I'm glad that you are pursuing the academic goals, but also want to continue to pursue the voiceover goals as well.
No, yeah. I also think like having that, I mean, the time management for two jobs is probably crazy, but like it also gives you room that like, okay, like voice acting time is playtime that I can like fully commit to doing the play part without worrying about, oh my gosh, am I going to book this job or am I going to pay rent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that when I went back to work after going, I'm going to quotation full time, where I'm only doing voice acting. I'm like, oh, this better work. This better work. And then I start getting a regular paycheck. I'm like, oh, this doesn't have to better work. Let's just play with this one and play, like you said. And it doesn't hurt that voice acting feels like a cool hobby job. Like, it's not a slog. You're not cleaning toilets or nothing.
No, yeah.
I mean, I do
Yeah,
clean toilets. Just two.
There are plenty of people that do make a good living doing voiceover, and that's their one job. And more power to them. And had I discovered this earlier, or had I pursued this earlier, maybe I'd be in that category. But I'm not, and I won't be until I retire, hopefully. But it is entirely possible, and it's also good that you don't, like, for me, I don't feel pressured to have all the success all the time, get it now, book the jobs, and constantly have money flowing in, because I don't need it. It's not what sustains my life. It's not what pays the bills. So it's always cool. Hey, I booked the job. That's neato. And a
Neato.
little extra money rolls in. Fantastic. But it's not like I'm okay. I have to make $70,000 this year, otherwise I have to sell my car. And so that's a good thing. And I think that having um, a higher level degree. I can't suddenly lost the word
Yeah,
for
what is
a graduate degree in physics and mechanical engineering. I think you probably do pretty well for yourself, and you'll probably be able to afford to play in the voice acting realm. So,
like half the people on Big Bang Theory or whatever? They're doing fine. Mike, did you have the one final question, or was that the one?
no, I'll kind of follow what we just talked about up with the final question.
The final.
The one we'd like to know.
This is it.
Right. So you've been able to do some animation and some anime and some video. Have you done video game stuff as well?
Yes, it's actually like mainly video games, animation. I'm not sure I've voiced an
Yeah,
anime
that's right.
yet.
Yeah, some of the clips that that I watched of you were video games. But if you had that thing, that one thing, where in the back of your head you're like, man, the dream job is this. If I could do, if it's, K-pop Demon Hunters part 2, or if it's, you know, a super great anime project with a cool Cuban Chinese, you know, heroine, or, you know, whatever. What is it? Have you thought of that? Like, I would, you know, if I could have that one great job, this is what it would be. Or is it more? Is there a more broad answer to that question?
I love this question because I feel like I think it's really good to dream and to manifest.
100%.
But for me, I realized the thing that I probably really want to voice in, I have no idea yet, right? Like no one knew K-pop Demon Hunters was gonna be K-pop Demon Hunters until like it came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's honestly the exciting part about being in this industry. Like I don't know what this project could turn out to be, or what I'm auditioning for, or how the session is gonna go, right? It's such a roll in the die, and I kind of like live for that for that gamble, um, for lack of a better term. So I don't know what my dream role is yet, but I can't wait to find it.
Interesting. Wow. The whole
That's
world's
good.
open.
That's a good answer. It's like, yeah, I dream of things, but I don't know what that dream is yet. But it's out there. Yeah, and is it one of those things where you'll know it when you find it, or will it be like, you know, okay, I did this thing, I did the role, and then suddenly it hits big, and you're like, oh,
No idea.
It sounds
yeah,
like
I had
you're
no
living.
idea that
yeah.
was gonna happen.
It sounds like you're living
Is
the
that
dream.
the dream? Like you do a project and then it blows up, like you're Mark Hamill in Star Wars, and you had no idea that it's going to be as huge as it was.
Yeah,
Is
I always found it funny he didn't think he was the main character even too.
yeah.
I believe, yeah.
What? That's wild. Okay. Well, let's keep living the dream. I know you're gonna defeat. If this were a battle, you're gonna win. You're already doing so well. No.
Do the final blow.
Yeah. But I do want to act with you. Is that okay? Can we act together tonight? Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Michael,
All right.
are you prepared?
No.
Oh.
But we will be.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And we may be doing something a little different.
It's gonna be
see.
different.
Yeah. So, be back in a sec.
Improv, yeah.
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 Improvisation.
Improvisation.
Yes. That's what we're going to do today, folks. We're going to deviate from the ChatGPT roulette today.
Why, Mike?
We're going to do something fun that, for all of us, has originated with the one, the only, Tim Powers. Timprov.com, TM, all the things. So, Tim, if you ever get around to watching this, thank you. We're going to use one of your exercises and have a little fun with it. Now, what we're going to do is these two fine people are very smart people, and they were on their way to speak at a convention, and something horrible happened. They got into an accident and somehow fell in a vat of radioactive goo, and they melded together, and they're now one person, but they have two brains and two mouths, but they can't speak on their own. They have to speak together. But they still made it to the convention, so kudos to you guys. And so we're going to set this up, and we are now at the Dandruff convention, and we have the expert at Dandruff, and so I am your moderator, Biff Stanley, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Dandruff convention. We have a wonderful speaker today, and so I would like you to just introduce yourself. Starting with Ariane. You go first.
I'm
Crangus
Johnson.
I. Crangus Johnson. All right. Well, good to meet you, I. Crangus. Do I call you I. Crangus, or just Cranny, or Mr. Johnson, Mr. Johnson?
Cran.
Jess.
Crangus. Got it. All right. We'll call you Crangus. Thank you, Crangus. I have never heard that name. That is wonderful. All right. Well, one of the things that I have always wondered about dandruff is why does why does dandruff happen? If I wash my hair every day and I still get flaky flakes, why is that happening to my head?
The
Scalp
mutates
with
hot,
and
wet,
water.
Oh, so like when I put water on my head, it creates dandruff. Okay, that's good to know. All right, well, what preventative measures can I take? Is there a food I should be eating or ingesting that would prevent the dandruff?
vitamins,
Sometimes.
helps.
And
Oils,
with
sunflowers,
seeds.
can
Sometimes.
help.
But
Ah. There's more.
If
you
freeze
those
oils,
they
burn
your
dandruff.
off.
Wow. So frozen oil, that's the key. That's amazing. I've never heard of that before. So products like, well, let's just say, I don't know if I should say a product name on here because we're not advertising it, but let's just say, that blue stuff that Troy Polamalu advertises. Are we saying that those zinc-based products don't work as well as they should?
They,
Do
but
they
are
quite
ineffective.
and
It's
pretty
hard
to
get
but
if
you
massage,
and
digest,
when
you
ingest
the
blue
will
change
Wow.
into or
a
green.
substance.
So, if I take the blue stuff that I would normally put in my scalp, and in addition to massaging it in my scalp, I ingest it, it will turn green and cure my dandruff?
Exactly.
Amazing.
Exactly.
Kids, don't try this at home. All right, do you want one more question?
Yes.
You know what? Yeah, let's do one more question. So thank you so much for all your insight, Dr. Crangus Johnson. Really appreciate you coming and just giving us the inside out of the fact that frozen oils work much better than blue shampoo. For my last question, I just want to know what I can do, not me particularly, but speaking for a friend, about the social stigma that comes with just having white flaky stuff all over your shirt and just people looking at you and calling you names and having it just fall in your food when you're eating it and everything. What can I do to overcome that? What can my friend do to overcome that?
Shake,
all
dandruff,
straight
into
their
mouths.
and
So throw it back at him.
That'll
Get him.
Yeah. Fight fire with fire. All right.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow. All right. So, yeah, again, kids, don't ingest the blue stuff, okay? That was comedy.
It turns... What happens to it again?
It turns green.
It turns green.
I don't know how
yeah.
you know it turns green, unless you're puking it back up or pooping it out and it's green. I don't know, but that's apparently what happened.
You just know. You know when you know.
Yeah.
One of us might have done this before we got
Crangus?
fused.
Mitch,
Crangus McBasketball.
Crangus come from?
It's from Impractical Jokers. I almost said the name you gave, so I had to just wing it.
Yeah. Well, hey, Ariane, fantastic to meet you. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I feel like I know you really well now, and just
We're like best friends.
Appreciate our time.
Thanks for having me. Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say you. No one gets to know this is behind the scenes, but I asked you today. I asked you not that long ago if you'd
I
pop on the
literally
show.
met you like 9 hours ago.
and we are the first podcast you've been on.
Yeah.
Yes. Woo! All right. Well, hopefully we didn't spoil the experience for you, and that you'll go on many, many more podcasts after this and have so much fun. But it's nice to know that that no matter what happens, we will have always been your first.
Yes, and it was awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, we will definitely let you know. Make sure that Mitch has all of your contact info and your socials and everything, and we'll make sure we post or we tag you when we start posting this in a while. But again, thanks for coming on. We really appreciate you, and we like you so much more than the guest we were going to have on who didn't show up. So, oh, shit. Ooh, I don't know. I can't even remember who it was that was supposed to be on. So, but all right. Well,
awkward
there we go.
goodbyes.
It's time for awkward goodbyes.
So,
Bye.
There it is.
all right.
All right then.
Bye then.